by Best Western Plus Greenville Village Hotel and Suites Convention Center in amazing Arcola.
A lot of us wish we were traveling this year, and our options feel a little limited thanks to COVID-19, but I think everybody wants to stay safe. And here with more on travel safety during COVID, it's Anywhere, Anytime Journeys, Brad Martin. Hey, Brad, thanks for being with us.
Hey, thanks, Heather. How are you doing today?
Well, I'm good, but just like everybody else, missing out on all of those fun summer vacations because of COVID-19. And you've got some traveling tips for us today. What do you got for us?
Well, to start out, everybody's ready to get going places. And for example, you can go to Mexico now, you go to Dominican Republic, but some of the destinations, even domestically, are letting you go as long as you do a COVID-19 test 72 hours before you go and you show a negative. And if that's the case, you got to get certified and you can go and you're not going to have to be quarantined. So I think that's going to be a thing of the future just as this virus goes on.
Well, yeah, and it just seems like things are forever changing when it comes to COVID-19. Let's talk about traveling, though, and the importance of having insurance. Are we going to need that when it comes to, covering COVID-19?
But this is where it gets very tricky, and I'm going to tell you, this is where having a travel professional really makes a big difference. Some of the insurances do not cover COVID-19 because of a pandemic, but there are some companies out there that they do have insurance that do cover, and you can cancel up to like 48 hours prior to departure with no penalties. And there's two ways. It might give you your cash back. It depends on how you do your insurance. You can get your cash back, or you might just get a credit for future travel. And I'm really stressing this to any type of travel, even domestic right now.
Wow.
So things are changing.
Well, and that's good to know and that's good to have someone like you who can help us navigate all of that, because it could get a little tricky knowing which insurance it sounds like to go with. All right, talking domestic travel, you still have some ideas for destinations for people to check out still.
Right now, I tell you what's big, and I've actually booked 18 rooms last week, and I just did a proposal yesterday for Las Vegas, and I had somebody else call me today for Las Vegas. Las Vegas is really a big spot right now because it is domestic, and the casinos and all are back opening. The other thing that people are looking for, even next year, people are looking at Hawaii and Alaska. But the other thing I've booked in the last 2 weeks, several vacations for next year, is U.S. river cruises, just like the European river cruises. What's great about those are they're small ships, about 200 people, and they're taking all these new measures to make sure you're safe.
Yeah, I would think a lot of people would be concerned being constricted on a cruise ship like that, and the possibility of being so close to one another and stuck out on a boat. But I guess that's not something we need to be too worried about.
Well, with CDC changing what they're doing, in fact, I just read this morning, for example, for river boats, there's only 200 people on these river boats. The cabins are all outside. A lot of them are all outside cabins, so you got the fresh air. And it used to be you all ate at one time. On these river boats, what they're going to do is have, just like on an old cruise style, they're going to have a late dining and an early dining. So it's going to be social distancing. There's going to be a lot of cleaning. They're going to do pre-tests before we get on the cruise. I mean, there's all these things that they're going to do. They're going to be doing medical checks every day to make sure you don't show any sign. So they're going to be doing a lot of safety measures.
Well, wonderful. It's good to know that they're taking those measures to make sure that all of their visitors stay safe. The pictures of Hawaii and Alaska looked amazing. You're booking quite a few of those for 2021?
Yep, this week I booked 4 cabins to, cruises to Alaska, and I'm working on somebody who's actually just flying to Alaska for next year. They just chose not to do the cruise thing. Hawaii, I think Hawaii is going to be a big thing this winter, just because of it's domestic. You're not going outside the country. Even though it's a long flight, you're still within the United States, so you're going to get this, you feel a little bit safer.
Yeah, well, and it looks beautiful. I think we're all ready for a vacation. We're all ready to just be away from the pandemic for a while, although I'm not seeing an end in sight anytime soon. But we appreciate you inspiring us to start planning and thinking ahead to that next vacation destination. And we know you're the guy to go to if we need any help, right?
That's right. I really appreciate it, Heather, and you have a great day.
You are so welcome. We've been scrolling through all of Brad's social media as well as his website, which we'll share with you at CILiving.tv.